Recently, a guy named Elon Musk bought Twitter. He paid $44 billion for Twitter. Everybody knows what Twitter. Ida, you're on Twitter, right? Sure. Yeah. Twitter, it's a messaging software app. And Elon Musk, who is known for putting rockets in space and electric cars on the road, is now known for owning this social media platform. And when he paid his, I'm sure it was someone else's $44 million borrowed, but not long after he acquired control of Twitter for those $44 billion, he set about firing people. The people at the top, as you might expect someone would do when taking over as the owner and CEO of a company. But that wasn't enough. He went and laid off or fired, it really doesn't matter. He ended the employment of about 3,700 people. But if that wasn't enough, he then let go of 4,400 of the contractors, 4,400 of the 5,500 contractors. The numbers are starting to pile up. And if that wasn't enough, he just recently gave an ultimatum to remaining employees, giving them, really a handful of hours of notice to decide if they wanted to stay working for him. Click a button if you want to keep your job, is what he did. And we'll look at the letter in a moment. And it's estimated that about 1,200 employees took him up on the offer to get 3 months severance to get away from the company. How many of you are still back on the number 44 billion? And how many of you are still stuck on the numbers 3,700 people fired and 4,400 people fired and 1,200 people fired? And maybe sometime in your past you had the awful experience of being let go from a job, and you can still feel what that is like. And I don't know what is worse about our society, that maybe the number 44 billion now seems commonplace, or thousands of people, coming close to 10,000 people losing their jobs seems commonplace. I was mentioning a moment ago about the letter that Elon Musk wrote to his employees. It was Wednesday night, Thursday morning at the clock hitting midnight, that he released an email to his remaining employees, giving them until 5 p.m. Eastern Time that next day to make a decision about their employment. And here's a bit from the letter. And here's the invite to stay. This will mean working long hours at high intensity. Only exceptional performance will constitute a passing grade. If you are sure that you want to be part of the new Twitter, please click yes on the link below. And then below that link was, anyone who has not done so by 5 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Thursday, will receive 3 months severance. How many of you are still back on the number 44 billion? And thousands of people laid off. Or maybe some of you are stuck on, here's how you end the employment of your staff click this button if you want to stay. If not, you are locked out. Again, 1,200 people decided, we're not going to play along with this game. And I'm sure a number of them were saying to themselves, and we'll see you in court. And the drama will continue as we watch as spectators to see what the world's richest man can do with $44 billion. Last week, you recall that we looked briefly at a passage that read, anyone unwilling to work should not eat. And if you didn't get it last week, I want to reinforce it this morning. In the sermon, I wanted to make it clear that this is not the teaching of the church, but this was Paul writing to leaders in the church saying, come on, pull your weight. Pull your weight. There's a little bit of this going on. Well, there's a lot of this going on with the letter from Elon Musk to his employees. If you don't want to work hardcore, was how it was put. If you don't want to lead the way of getting a sleeping bag and sleeping in your office and working 24/7 on all of the important Twitter tech improvements that I envision, then get out. In last week's scripture passage, there wasn't any kind of, you know what, get out. It was, well, you're still in the family, but we're going to have a conversation. This week's letter is a stark contrast to this letter that Elon Musk has written to his community, the one that his $44 billion allowed him to shepherd. This letter from Paul to this early church is how you would hope that leaders and relationships would unfold. Let's read it again. This is what is written in the scripture passage. May you be made strong with all the strengths. Not, let me extract all of your strength from you so that you can make me some more money. May you be strong with all the strength that comes from Christ's glorious power. And may you be prepared to endure everything. Not, if you want to be a good worker, you need to endure this hardcore job that I envision. No. It's, may you be prepared to endure everything with patience while joyfully giving thanks to the Father. To endure all the things that this nasty world with its $44 billion believes that it can impose upon us. Thanks to the Father who has enabled us to not be connected to the screens anymore. That's okay. There is this contrast between what the gospel message is, what it is that we're told about how God in Jesus Christ wants to lead us, and what the world, this week represented by Elon Musk, next month represented by someone else, who knows? But a contrast between how do we view human beings? You can tell what people believe about human beings by how they treat them. But then you can also learn, you can influence how people treat people by what you believe about human beings. And in this week's news, with this $44 billion, we see an ugly picture that is the opposite of the gospel. You as a human being, you work